Hello, this is Miss V, and I want to do a quick review of cells and organelles with you. This review goes with the notes that you took in class last week. So just to begin, let's review the cell theory. Number 1, all living things are composed of one or more cells. Number 2, the cell is the most basic unit of life. And number 3, all cells arise from pre-existing cells. On your free time, go ahead and click on this link right here, and it's going to take you to the cell theory wrap. And this is a little quick and easy way for you to remember the cell theory for tests in the future. So now let's review eukaryotic cells and prokaryotic cells. Let's remember that prokaryotic cells came first. Prokaryotic cells have no membrane-bound structures. Remember, we call those structures organelles. And prokaryotic cells have no nucleus. So a eukaryotic cell has membrane-bound structures, which we refer to as organelles, and it has a nucleus. So what we're going to do right now is go through cell organelles together, and we're going to kind of make it a little game. So here I have listed the functions of various organelles, and then it is up to you to figure out which organelle goes to that specific function. So we have an organelle bank down here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read them aloud to you. And then I'm going to give you time to hit pause and try to answer it on your own. And then after you hit play again, I'm going to give you the answer. So let's start with number 1. Number 1, this controls cell activity and it has DNA. The answer is the nucleus. So let's drag the nucleus to the appropriate spot. So let's look at number 2. A structure that is used for storage of water and nutrients the cell needs to survive. The answer is the vacuoles. Let's go ahead and look at number 3. Materials are processed and moved to the Golgi bodies. That is the ER's job. And remember that ER stands for endoplasmic reticulum. Let's move on to number 4. Made of cellulose, rigid wall for shape, support and protection. The answer is cell wall. And don't forget that the cell wall is only found in plant cells. They're not in animal cells. Let's go on to number 5. Controls what molecules pass into and out of the cell. The answer is the cell membrane. Remember, the cell membrane is selectively permeable. That means that only certain things can come in and out of the cell. Let's move on to number 6. Produces proteins by using instructions from the nucleus. That answer is ribosome. So, number 7, packages material in vesicles and ships the materials to different places inside of the cell. That answer is Golgi bodies. Let's move on to number 8. Converts sun's rays into energy, which is sugar, that cells can use. That answer is chloroplast. And let's not forget that chloroplasts are only found in plant cells. Let's move on to the last one, number 9. Produces energy molecule called ATP from sugar. That answer is mitochondria. Remember, mitochondria is mighty, and it produces energy, ATP, energy. So now that we've went through the organelles, I want you to do this on your own. You're going to compare the cell to a factory. What you're going to do is each of these members of the factory inside the cell represent an organelle. So it is up to you to figure out what the person's doing and make an analogy to an organelle. If you complete this and bring it into class, I'll give you bonus points. So to end this review, we're just going to go over a few little questions. So, the cell below is a blank cell. What cell do you think it is? If you chose C, a plant cell, then you're correct. The reason we know that it's a plant cell is because it has a cell wall and it has chloroplasts. And chloroplasts, they convert the sunlight into glucose. So let's try one more. The function of the cell membrane is to, if you chose B, control what goes in and out of the cell, then you're correct. Remember, the cell membrane is selectively permeable, and that means that only certain molecules can come in and out of the cell. That's important for us because our cell contains the DNA, and our DNA is so sensitive, we don't want just anything coming in and out of our cells. So let's try this last one. The function of the mitochondria is to, it is A, produce energy. Remember, the mitochondria is a mighty powerhouse. It produces ATP energy. This PowerPoint goes through with the notes that we took on the cell and organelles. This will be a great thing for you to use to study for your quizzes or exams.